Everyone surely loves a smooth taste of what a true adventure is like in a fantasy world. Scenery and environments like these really give the sense of so much freedom and possibilities for our protagonist to be able to, accomplish and go on a journey in which we will accompany them every step of the way to see their ultimate progression during this adventure. I don't know about you all, but I'm definitely excited to share with all of you 10 adventure fantasy anime series with a powerful main character. So, if you're new around here, then please make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notifications bell icon turned on to stay up to date with the latest anime news and recommendations right at your doorstep. But before we begin, how about giving yourself a tasty treat? This is why this video is proudly sponsored by Boxu. Boxu is a premium Japanese snack box subscription that is full of your favorite treats and Japanese snacks delivered to your doorsteps by the best creators. Shipped all the way from Japan, Boxu seeks to spread the joy of Japanese sweets and tea ceremony culture through these fancy packages. Using monthly themed boxes with different snacks that match the season and month, this is your chance to experience the Japanese culture inside your home, even if you live in other parts of the world. In the month of March, Boxu is offering their Sakura season themed box. Every year, cherry blossoms fall and people celebrate by gathering under the trees, and so Boxu has put together treats with limited edition cherry blossom themed snacks, and anyone who subscribed to Boxu will receive their very own Sakura season themed box. I very much encourage many of you to try out Boxu to experience Japanese snacks if you have never had them before, because they are extremely delicious and super authentic. So get yourselves a Boxu snack box right now and get a monthly dose of your favorite sweets and Japanese snacks using the code that you see on the screen right now. My code will give you a sweet 10% discount off your subscription. Links will be in the description and also pinned in the comments. Todoroki Destiny is the first one to join this list, and honestly, this series is definitely one of a kind due to the epic collaboration project between both Studio Madhouse and also MAPPA that brought us one of the most unique anime series that features music and battle sequences combined together. I thought at first that maybe this would be, just a bit of an odd combination, but after watching the first episode, it actually works really well for this series. This anime has amazing visuals. I think we can get that out of the way due to how amazing some scenes look, the effects and the close-ups. It all really makes such a striking impact to the audience as we want to see more of this beauty added into a series. And that is exactly what this anime did for the majority of it when it aired. And for that very reason, I think many of you should definitely consider giving this series a shot. Have you ever thought a prince and the ruler of his own kingdom is trying to purposely fail due to his sheer laziness? I certainly didn't, but next up we have the Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. At first glance, this anime really reminded me of an anime called How a Realist Hero Rebuilt His Kingdom, which it certainly does, but what if I told you that I actually enjoyed this anime a lot more than the other? Now, the protagonist, Prince Wine, wishes to retire in comfort, but of course it's not that easy for him as, chase his dreams, since he does have a kingdom to run and a duty to fulfill as the prince of his kingdom. There are a lot of great characters introduced in this anime, especially the supporting cast, which I think impact the story very well, which is why I think this anime here is definitely worth watching. Up next is the wonderful series known as Princess Connect. This marvelous of a fantasy anime is one heck of an adventure, and it truly reminds me a lot of Konosuba in terms of not every character at first is actually powerful, since they all have weaknesses that is needing to be overcome. But this anime is so much fun to watch as it combines not only good action but also quality slice of life moments that focuses on a group of characters who meet up on their journeys, form a guild, and become good friends. In many cases, I really did enjoy the series that, have a big focus around characters to build up their chemistry and live their life together. It shows a binding of, strength and great progression of working together, and I think this anime is something you definitely will very much enjoy. The Great Jahisama Will Not Be Defeated is such a golden comedy series about the second in command of the demon realm, a very powerful being named Jahisama, who was like such a feared savage in the demon realm. However, after the crystal, the crystal core got destroyed by the magical girl, she was transferred to the real world known as Japan. And I guess you know where this is going so far. She has to find, all the broken shards to rebuild the core to return back to the demon realm. All that while facing hardship to live in a world that she really hates so much. So pretty much, enjoy a show as you watch her struggle to adapt to her new surroundings, make new friends, and fail a lot of the times with her evil plans. And now we move on to Hiro Mashima's glorious creation of Eden Zero. As a huge fan of the shonen from start to finish, Fairy Tail is definitely one of my most favorite and best shonen I've ever watched. Next up, afterwards, of course, came is Eden Zero, which features a brand new story full of brand new characters that share quite the resemblance to the fairy tale trope, and also, just a fresh new adventure out in space. Hiro Mashima always worked around using similar character designs and changing very minor things to keep the character designs, match his own creation, which I absolutely do not mind at all. The series was really fun to watch, simple, straight to the point, and surprisingly not much to do with the power of friendship at all, which is what the majority of the people really dislike. So, if you ask me, this adaptation here is definitely worth watching. How about something relaxing to watch, which is a slice of life focused series that features a powerful female protagonist that gets isekai to another world? Now that is something that sounds like my cup of tea, to be honest, and let me share some information about it. The girl that was, got isekai'd leveled herself up to the max by actually killing slimes for over 300 years, which is actually mind-blowing to even think of, and simply wanted to live a peaceful life on her own without any disturbance while being powerful as a witch. But as soon as rumors start spreading around of her being overpowered, well, let's just say that things didn't really go as she planned originally. Now she has gained so much popularity to the point where the whole town actually knows who she is and where she lives, which means that soon she will be having unexpected visitors.
ここにレベル99の魔女がいると聞いてきました。
誤解です。石板が壊れて変な数値が出ただけで。
Suppose a kid from the last dungeon boonies moved to a starter town. Now, this might be quite a long title for an anime, but it is the perfect example of a completely oblivious protagonist who doesn't even really know the full extent of his own powers. Why does he think he's weak when he, just one-shots almost every damn enemy or mob in the world? Well, this anime is very hilarious in many ways, but also has a great adventure in the sense of its comedy moments and characters with so many attributes and their interesting methods. I found myself really enjoying this anime a lot, despite it being so underrated by the community. I truly wanted to give it some love, and that is why it's on this list for you all to check out. Now, if you're into some quality good action with dangerous monsters roaming outside in the world and a society living in a moving light ship for safety measures, then Decadence is something just for you. This anime almost reminds me of the Attack on Titan premise of, living inside the walls for safety against the Titans, but for the case of Decadence, it's a giant moving ship full of people working or, living their life inside. People who specialize in fighting against dangerous beasts are equipped with military-grade flight mechanisms that allow them to, glide and fly around to battle. It's quite underrated to begin with, but it's definitely one of the more enjoyable anime I've seen in a damn while, and worth it for, you know, its incredibly unique story and characters that you might have not even expected in the first place. How about a quality original series that has tons of action created by Studio Mappa themselves that has a very powerful protagonist? I thought you might like the sound of that, so I went ahead and recommend to all of you guys to watch Garo, which is a very unique series of a teenage boy named Leon wielding powerful armor from his mother, in which he must now overcome the hatred of his mother's death due to the kingdom's choices. Strange and horrible dark creatures roam around the kingdom, and Leon's father is currently training him in preparing his son for whatever threat he will be facing next. There are even CGI elements included in the series, but it's actually pretty well made, and I think many of you will definitely find enjoyment watching Garo. Finally on this list, to finish things off, I'd like to introduce you all to Chain Chronicles. This anime is quite underrated and aired back in 2017, and truth to be told, I really liked it, despite its negative feedback since it, followed a game adaptation, and many people know that in most cases, game adaptations tend to struggle a lot, but I found myself intrigued by this anime a lot. A cool-looking fantasy world, different characters with set of skills and powers, and an unforgettable adventure in finding world peace and maintaining balance to fight against dark creatures that have suddenly appeared in the world. This is something you should definitely watch, and I believe that Chain Chronicles will definitely and surely not disappoint. I guess this is the point where I wrap up the video, as the adventure has now come to a stop for now. But if you have managed to reach to the end, then I highly thank you for doing so, and if you did enjoy, then please make sure to leave a like, as I'd always appreciate the support on my videos. Have a good one, everyone, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.